Taiwan has long built solid consumer electronics but had a tougher time building brands. Now, some of the island's biggest technology companies are enlisting Hollywood celebrities for a makeover. This is Asia Today. I'm Yun-Hee Kim. Joining me to discuss this story is Eva Do, Taipei Tech correspondent. Eva, thanks for joining us today. Wanted to ask you, first of all, why companies like HTC and Acer, the big Taiwanese tech companies there, have had a hard time building up their brand?
Well, this has been a long-term challenge for Taiwanese tech companies because most of them, including HTC and Acer, had started out as contract manufacturers, building computers, smartphones for other companies. And so it's relatively new that they're selling products under their own brands, and they have to build these brands internationally. That being said, HTC and Acer have both gotten new chief marketing officers this year, and they're making a lot of changes to try to improve their visibility overseas.
You talk about some of the changes. Can you give us more specifics about what they're doing in terms of marketing initiatives?
Yes, so for the first time, they are reaching out to really A-list Hollywood names such as Robert Downey Jr. for HTC and Megan Fox for Acer. And so they are, before, a lot of Taiwanese companies had been relatively unwilling to spend a lot of money on marketing and advertising because they had this contract manufacturer's mentality that they wanted to keep costs down and overhead down. And so this is a big shift that they are reaching out to these really famous stars to be the brand endorsers.
Right, but enlisting some of these, top celebrities must cost a lot of money. And as I understand it, some of these companies haven't been doing very well in terms of earnings. So how are they financing these big ad campaigns?
Yeah, that is a challenge. That is probably the key challenge for the companies, which is that HTC, it has forecast it's going into its first operating loss since its IPO, and Acer is also skating on the brink of break even. And so it's a tough time financially for them because demand for their products is slowing globally. But they are trying to take the longer term view and deciding that they have to invest this money now if they want to avoid losing momentum altogether.
Right, and it doesn't help that some of their rivals like Samsung and Apple are pouring billions of dollars on marketing. When it comes to branding, how does Taiwan rank compared to countries like South Korea and Japan? Do you have any specifics on that?
Yeah, well, Taiwan is relatively young in building its brands compared to places like Japan and South Korea, and also just money-wise, it's difficult for any of these Taiwanese companies to compete with a Samsung. Like, according to some figures, Samsung's advertising in the US last year, they outspent HTC by a factor of 10-fold. So even if HTC, say, doubles its marketing spending this year, which is what it said that it's doing, that's still, as you can see, quite a challenge to try to compete with Samsung.
Right, certainly a challenging environment for some of these Taiwanese tech companies. Thanks very much, Eva Do, joining us via Skype from Taipei. For more on this story, you can go to WSJ.com. I'm Yun-Hee Kim for the Wall Street Journal Digital Network. Thanks for watching.